Today we're doing outer tie rod ends. I'll show you why in a moment. And basically what you want to do is get started, lay out the tools that you need. It's a real simple job. Extend the steering either all the way to the right or all the way to the left, whichever side you're working on. That way you got full access. First thing you want to do, loosen up your jam nut right here, which is basically what keeps the in and outer tie rod end together. So you want to loosen that up. Now ideally what you want to do is just loosen that up just a little teensy weensy itty bit. You don't want to loosen it up a whole lot, because then you got to count threads, you're going to throw the alignment out worse than what it needs to be, so on and so forth. Remove your cotter pin, remove the nut off the bottom of the tie rod end, which we've already done, and then you want to go ahead and beat the tie rod end out of it. And boom, we're out. And then the reason we're replacing it, because of that right there, not good at all. Now in an ideal situation, the tie rod end would just turn right off. Obviously this is not an ideal situation, so I'm going to have to take some different measures. Oh, come on now, grab a hold of it. Don't be scared. Okay. Now this one I have to bind up somehow. Try to get it to turn off there, and that's not wanting to work out at all.
What's that red tool you're using?
It's a tie rod end, inner tie rod end tool. It's an adjustment tool for alignments. And we're going to have some heat on this one. You're dealing with older vehicles, age, mileage, rust. Never be afraid to use heat. Alright, now we got her hot. We'll try to break it loose and... Good God! Well, friends and family, it's not looking good for the home team. A little bit more heat on it. Alright, let's try it again. Hopefully this will work. Yeah, there we go. She just wasn't hot enough. Don't try this at home. And trust me, do not touch that thing. She'll burn you. That bitch is hot. Woo! Oh yeah. A little smoky. Don't breathe that shit. Oh God. Oh Jesus. Hopefully she'll break loose here in a little bit. Start cooperating. It's gonna suck if this thing is this tight all the way out. She's about 2 or 3 inches up in there. Yeah, that's gonna suck a hind tit. But at any rate, you can see how persuasive parts will be with the proper amount of heat, rather than being just a ludicrous pain in the butt. Trying to get some lubrication down in there, help the process. And see, this is another thing that turns your simple repair into something that's extremely time consuming, and it shouldn't be. And upon installation, I'll give you an idea how to resolve this to where you're not faced with it next go around. As you can see, lapse time is about 25 minutes and we're still cranking on it. And here she comes finally. Still nice and hot. Out. And all greasy. Well, there it is. And bonus, the threads are still all intact. Alright, so go in and scrub your threads up real good. So you get any kind of rust or whatever the hell all that gunk was that was making your life a living hell for the past 20 minutes. And voila. You can use, just putting some grease on here because I don't have any never sees, but you can just use grease, never sees, whatever. Make sure you get your threads all nice and greasy. That way they won't seize up. The guys at the alignment shop will love you because the adjustments will be a lot easier to make. And if and when you ever do have to replace the outer tie rod end again, you won't have to go through what we just went through. And we'll take her and start going back together. Now remember when we begun, I had mentioned to only move that jam nut just ever so slightly, just enough to get it away from the tie rod end. And it sort of kind of sucked on this side because I couldn't really illustrate that because the outer tie rod end didn't want to move, it was seized up. But ideally what you want to do is when you get down, instead of counting threads, you'll get close to where you're supposed to be, and the vehicle should still be close to being in alignment. That should be about where we were at. If I can just get it, come back loose. There we go. Alright. Doo-doo-doo. And we're in. Oh, yeah, don't do that, dummy. Now this is a castle nut with a cotter key, so what you want to do is obviously zip it down until it gets tight. Find out where your hole's at, which looks like ours is right there at about 7 o'clock. Zap it down. Get your hole lined up. Sorry about the glare there, guys. Off my bald head. And we'll see if our key will go through there, which shouldn't be an issue. Well, I might have to bump her one more time.
Got the pin in the nut there. Now you
yeah, put the cotter key in there.
Fold them over.
Fold her down. And you're done. You can go ahead and tap those ends down just a little bit if you want. Make sure they're out of the way. That's it. Put your Zerk fitting in. Tighten it down. Add some grease. Tighten your jam nut. Which, getting ahead of myself there a little bit. Tighten that down. Then your jam nut. Just run it back up till it's snug. See how close that was? That way the vehicle should still be in alignment. And of course it never can hurt when any kind of front suspension work or suspension work you do. Go ahead and take it to a certified facility and have them check the alignment for you at least. If not, perform one. Just to make sure. Heck of a lot cheaper than buying tires. And we're out of grease.